3, 2. Welcome back to the PigSkin podcast. This is episode 14. College football week 12, NFL week 11 recap. We're going to get into a little bit of OU and the Mormon school, Brigham Young, talk about some other college football games from the weekend, and then we'll finish it up with a recap from NFL week 11. Before we get started, Sebastian, you got anything to say?
Go fuck yourself.
Let's
get into it.
Lovely start. So.
Oh, yeah, I'm drinking coffee, by the way.
Oh, really? I'm drinking fucking that proper 12.
Oh, I need to try that.
Dude, it's so good. So good. Anyways, Oklahoma, we'll start it out. Oklahoma, BYU.
Do you really want to get into
barely escaped. Yeah, I'll get into it. I watched all of Brent Venables' press conference from yesterday. We're recording this on Tuesday, November 21st, so Tuesday evening. OU's on the short week, so it kind of quickens everything up for them. So they had the usual Tuesday press conference. They had that yesterday. They got into practice and everything back on Sunday. So obviously we had the Dylan Gabriel head injury, or as Brent called it, upper body injury. It's concussion. He hit the fucking shit out of the ground, bro. BV talked a little bit about the game. Kind of going back and watching it, I do agree with a little bit of what he said. It was more on the linebackers just didn't fit well. Did not fit gaps. They were kind of all over the place. It didn't look as bad for the defensive line as I initially thought it was.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I thought it just looked bad as a whole on defense. Like there were only two guys, in my opinion, that played well. Go figure. Woody Washington and Billy Bowman were like the only two guys that played
literally
well.
The most consistent guys on defense by far. Danny now was the Danny Stutzman flu game. Okay,
yeah, he had the Jordan flu game.
He did have the flu game. Amazing. By the way, that strip sack fumble that he had, that was a check made by Kobe McKenzie on that play.
Nice.
Kobe McKenzie checked into that play because he realized it was completely even. They were outnumbered. It was even up front. They were outnumbered on the far side with the receivers, and so he checked into that, and Danny came around the edge and blitzed.
It's good to see that from your young guys.
Yeah, no, definitely. The defense really got whooped, but I wouldn't even say that. I think it was more the second level. And again, it's what Brent said. He's the expert here. But after going back and watching a lot of the defensive clips, defensive tape, I do lean that way. It was really bad from the linebacking core, run fits. Kip Lewis couldn't get into position. Danny Stutzman couldn't get into position. Jaron Cannett couldn't get into position. Kobe McKenzie couldn't get in. They just kept filling the wrong gaps. And it really exposed and made the defensive line look worse. But, the safeties had to come up and do a lot. We saw a lot of Robert Spears-Jennings, which was, I like that. I like seeing him. He's a sure tackler and a hard hitter in the secondary. I like seeing that. Billy Bowman was, like you just said, fantastic. Billy was fantastic. Obviously had the 101-yard pick six. Which, did you hear the Spanish radio call for that?
Yes, I did.
Oh, my Billy Bowman. Dude.
I feel like Spanish commentators get a lot more excited for football because, like, they're so used to watching soccer, they probably don't know what's going on with, like, American football. And so it's kind of like when we watch, like, the Canadian Football League, we have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Yeah, no clue.
And so, like, whenever they just see something just awesome like that, they go berserk.
Yeah, no, it was definitely awesome though. But the field was awful. Watching a lot of those clips, it didn't look like it on TV at first, but going back and watching it, guys are falling over the place. Obviously, we saw a bunch of BYU guys fall. A couple of times when they were trying to run their their pre-snap motion, that a few guys fell. There were a couple tackles where our guys were like, they had the right, I don't even know. They had the right pursuit. They had the right angle and everything. And as they try to stop and, make the tackle, they just slide like they're sliding into second base. It was bad. Apparently BYU is going to replace that field after the season. They're just going to tear it up and renew. So, which that was their senior day. So pretty much over for them. Still got a chance though. They beat Oklahoma State. They do become bowl eligible. One can hope. But getting into the offense, it was a review of 2009, man. Star quarterback, starting quarterback gets hurt, and true freshman has to come in and lead the way. And now, fortunately, this year we got the victory. 2009, obviously Landry Jones and the boys couldn't do it. But we don't win. As bad as the defense was, we don't win without their turnovers. We scored 21 points off 3 turnovers. That's as good as you could do.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of them was the pick six. Gavin Sawchuk looked amazing. 3 straight games for him, over 100 yards. Fantastic. DG looked really good, really efficient in the first half when he was playing. Sucks that he had to get hurt. Jaden Gibson, probably the best game I've seen from him. He only had 2 catches, but they were 2 of the biggest catches of the game. He had the one on the second drive to get him down at the 1 to set up the touchdown. And then he had, obviously, the touchdown back in the end zone. Super badass, by the way. Great by DG to kind of evade, escape the pocket, use his legs a little bit, and just fire a rocket into Jaden Gibson. But Nick Anderson looked good. Drake was setting up to have a really good game. That diving catch that he almost had was fantastic, even though he didn't catch it. But I think the most exciting part of this game, Jackson Arnold came in and made a few plays. He had that quarterback power on third down where he got, I think it was 11 or something yards, and ended up pushing for the first down to keep that final drive going and win the game. And then on the play that Jalil got hurt, looks like he probably just got the wind knocked out of him. He's been practicing and all. Checked out of the run play on third down into that and made a beautiful NFL throw to Jalil on the drive earlier when Gavin Sawchuk had the touchdown. Another NFL throw. Had the deep dig coming across and fucking fires it in there, dude.
I love how biased we are, as OU fans. Texas fans are gonna say the same thing when Arch Manning throws his first pass.
100%. That's an NFL throw. No, but they really were though. His anticipation, his timing, the rope he put it on, they were good balls, man. They're really good.
He was good. He had his welcome to college football moment though.
He took a fucking shot.
Yeah.
That safety from BYU came across and just hit him. He didn't even need to, but he blew him the fuck up. That first drive he had, that third down run. We were backed up second drive, I think. I don't know. We're backed up in the end zone. He ran for the first down, and that was a bullshit block in the back on Stogner. And he came back. He did look really rattled at first, though, which I can completely understand due to the situation. But, sorry, I just went on a huge rant there. What do you think? How do you think the game went?
It went absolutely not the way I expected it to go. I'm going to blame it on high elevation, bad field, Mormontown, Danny Stutzman flu game. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. Billy Bowman's the best player on this team.
Oh,
there,
100%.
I said it. Yeah. I think it's okay. So let's say he enters his name in the draft this year. He's the best safety in college football right now.
That's draft eligible? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, NFL teams will be making a mistake if he's not taken first. I haven't been able to say that about a safety in a long time for Oklahoma. Yeah. But he is so good. He's so efficient. That pick six was so awesome. He was so out of breath too.
Yeah,
he had to go back out there and play again.
He was stumbling out there at the end, bro. He was so tired, you could see it.
It's been such a ride. The 2021 class with him, Caleb Williams, Cody Jackson, Danny Stutzman, all those guys. Billy Bowman was my guy. As soon as he committed, I saw his high school tape. That's him. He's him. And freshman year, we had kind of a rough start. He wasn't good. He was pretty bad his freshman year.
Yeah.
Sophomore year, you saw improvements. That's what you wanted to see. This is the relationship I have with Justin Fields right now.
Yeah.
Where first year, not so good, shown some flashes. Second year, improvements. That's what you wanted to see. In third year, he's looked a lot better. But Billy Bowman, he's that guy. We didn't, and we talk very highly of guys like Danny Stutzman, rightfully so. He's good. He's very good at linebacker. He's the most important player on the defense. If Billy Bowman didn't exist, and then Billy
Bowman has quietly been the best player on this team.
Yeah, dude, he's so good.
He's a true safety though. He's literally your safety valve.
Yeah.
Think about how many touchdowns.
Tell me if I'm overreacting, but what was that?
Tell me how many touchdown saving tackles he had in this game. And the second level just got blown by in the run game, and he had to make 15. The tackle. Literally, dude.
Yeah, probably 50.
I think they had 8 or 9 20-plus yard runs.
Yeah.
Those would have been 40 and 50-yard runs if Billy Bowman didn't exist.
Listen, tell me if I'm overreacting because I tend to do that, but his ceiling is like Minka Fitzpatrick.
No, literally. He's
He's
so
small.
athletic.
He's smaller. I mean, he's
He
only
is
5'11",
smaller.
a buck 98. He'll get bigger in the NFL.
Yeah, no, certainly.
Oh, he's really good.
But
But
his biggest skill set, or his most important thing about his skill set, and I think, is his range, dude. And it's not his range playing the ball in the air. He can come from anywhere on the field and make a tackle.
yeah,
And he's like a heat-seeking missile, bro. And he doesn't miss often. And he plays the ball really well in the air. He's got pretty underrated man coverage skills. I mean, he had the forced pick in the West Virginia game.
yeah.
Also, the play that he had the pick six on. So I was going back and I was watching some people talk about it in like press
Yeah,
conferences.
he's supposed to blitz.
He was supposed to blitz, but the other safety didn't come around. The other safety
Yeah.
was supposed to play zone, and he knew it was off, and he figured that's where they were going. It just his IQ is just insane. I think he's certainly benefited outside of Stutzman. I think he's benefited the most with Brent Venables being there. And hey, it's not a foregone conclusion. He's gone next year. He could come
return.
back. And I'm telling you right now, he comes back. We get a healthy Gentry Williams. Year 2 for these guys like Makari Vickers, Josiah Wagner, and some of these other guys.
And Peyton Bowen.
Peyton Bowen. I forget about Peyton. Yeah, Peyton Bowen. That's Kenai Walker, Kendall Doby. That's a pretty good fucking secondary next year, man.
Yeah, I know Peyton Bowen's your guy. I hope you find the same success that you have with Peyton Bowen that I've had with Billy Bowman.
I hope so too.
So, yeah, all in all,
defense
is really bad.
Of Billy Bowman, so with Apple, you can shuffle your lock screen photos and everything. He made the lock screen, man.
That is such a great picture.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
That might be my new lock screen. You stole it from me.
Hey, man. I don't remember who posted it on Twitter, but you can load those in 4K and save them. Oh my God, it's perfect, man. Beautiful. Yeah, no, I think it's safe to say without Billy Bowman, we lose this game.
Probably. Yeah. No, we do.
I think so.
We stink, dude. We stink as a team. At least away we do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird, dude. And I think Brent Venables threw out the stat in his press conference. In our last 3 home games, we've had I don't even remember the numbers. It was like 8 tackles for loss, 6 tackles for loss, 9 tackles for loss, like 1 or 2 sacks, and all those turnovers. And then in our last 3 away games, we've had combined like 4 tackles for loss and no sacks.
I'll credit the coaching staff for this. They're starting to figure out ways to win, which is what you want to do. Like, you want to be able to win close. Like, when things aren't going your way, your linebackers aren't playing well, you got to figure out a way to win. They did.
Here's my thought. The credit to the coaching staff for that, but I also discredit the coaching staff in this sense. Look at Georgia. When does Georgia play their best football? End of the year. We played our best football mid-season, and we haven't been able to find that again since then. West Virginia, you can argue that was probably our most complete game.
Do you think they're coaching them too hard? Do you think Smitty's working them out too hard?
I don't know that they're working them out too hard, but I also think that they don't have enough guys in that locker room that have. Think about it. So who on that locker room's been to the playoffs?
I'm just going to tell you now, that's not what you were supposed to say. You're supposed to agree with me.
I'm sorry. Yes, I do agree with you.
Okay. Then we can blame it on that. Schmitty's working them out too hard, and that's why they're tired, they're fatigued, they're hurt. They're guys that aren't ready for the heat. And
I think
you agree with me.
I do agree with you. But
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
More realistically, I do think. So think about who on this team has been to the playoffs, has won a conference championship. Jordan Kelly, McCade Matoyer, Andrew Rame, Marcus Major.
Andrew Rame didn't win a conference championship.
When was Andrew Rame recruited?
Like 2021.
I thought he was a 2020 guy. He's like a 4th or 5th year senior.
Oh, you might be right then. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because he was 2020. You're right. Okay, yeah. So Andrew Rame, Jordan Kelly,
McCade Matoyer, Marcus Major, I think. Stogner. No, I think Stogner, 2019. He's recruited in 2019.
Yeah.
And then, he was 2020, by the way. No one else has been there. So, Danny Stunsman, Billy Bowman, those guys came in, they were freshmen in 2021 when everything went to shit. They haven't won enough. Now, you could argue, okay, 2021, won 11-2, 10-2 in the regular season, 11-2 with the bowl game victory, right? But that team and that culture was not conducive to winning championships. Last year, they tried to turn everything around. It's a bad season. They lose more than they win. Obviously, played great in the bowl game, but lost. This year, everything's getting going. They're 6-7-0. They look fucking fantastic. UCF comes around, look bad. Okay, maybe it was just a trap game. They evaded the loss. They stumbled but didn't fall, right? And then Kansas and Oklahoma State happened, and it's like that's what finally got them. They just haven't been custom enough to winning. So maybe it's not all in the coaching staff. Maybe it's the player part of the culture. They just haven't been there, and they don't know necessarily what it takes yet. That's why I think if we can keep this core guys together, like a Billy Bowman, like a Danny Stunsman, and bring them back next year, dude.
Well, it's also the difference between like when you were a part of 2021, it was more finesse and speed, and like, you won with not necessarily like physicality, like playing in like the tough games at the end of the year, and then you go to like you're tall, big, and you're hitting people now, like you're playing more physical.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between that, and you see it a lot like in the NFL. Like look at the Dolphins. The Dolphins, they scored like 7, like they were beating people just because of their scheme and how fast they are. And, they were losing the games to the tough opponents with winning records that were physical. And then, that win, I thought the win against the Raiders was impressive, but anyway, I'm kind of backtracking, but that's kind of how it is like that.
Well, and this is just a perfect example. Look at USC. USC started 6-0. They had the toughest part of their schedule against very physical and tough football teams and went 1-6.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or 1-5. 1-5.
Yeah, no.
6.
So I think that has a lot to do with it.
I certainly think so as well. But the most important part, and it's the part that maybe I think we got away from, because like you said a couple pods ago, the expectation of Oklahoma is to win every game, compete for a conference title, and compete for a playoff spot in a national championship. That's what the true expectation level is at Oklahoma. No matter the season, no matter the coach, no matter the expectation, that's what the true expectation is. I think the best part about this season is we've seen true growth from every position. There's been a lot of guys that have stepped up and taken leadership roles, that maybe weren't there. There's been a lot of young guys. We've got a lot of good young talent that are playing exceptional. Like Kip Lewis, fantastic. Been fantastic. Caden Green looks like an all-pro NFL guard. Like he has been that good if he can figure things out. And not that he hasn't, but he's still got a long way to go, right? He's only a true freshman.
Yeah.
Danny Stunsman's taken the biggest leap of his career. Billy Bowman's been fantastic. Woody Washington's been as solid as he ever has been. But you look at guys like Ginger Williams has now stepped up. Rondell Bothroyd looks great. Obviously, he wasn't a young guy. He's a transfer that got brought in. Robert Spears Jennings, when he's healthy, has been playing well. Peyton Bowen's been fucking fantastic. Kendall Dolby has played really good, especially as of lately. So it's like, and we keep talking about the defensive side because that's where the most major change has been. But
that's what you want to see, though.
Exactly.
With Brent Venables, you would rather see the defense grow. The offense will come together.
Yeah. Now they're not there yet defensively to where they want to be, but it almost feels like Ohio State, how the change they've had. Whereas Ohio State now can lean on their defense to win them games.
Yeah.
And they might win against Michigan just based off their defense this weekend. You don't know. That's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna be a great game. I'm so glad that one. Since OU game's on Friday, I'm so glad that one's on Saturday. I can get up and watch it, man.
Yeah.
Can't fucking wait. And then we got the Civil War between Oregon and Oregon State, and the Apple Cup, which don't be slept on for the Apple Cup.
And the Iron Bowl too, don't we?
Oh yeah, we do have the Iron Bowl. Dude, there's a lot of good games this weekend. I mean, obviously it's rivalry. Did you see the Army-Navy uniforms get dropped?
So bad.
My favorite time of year. My favorite time of year is when the Army-Navy uniforms come out and we get to watch that game. But yeah, no. It was a tough game. They won. Survive and advance. Big 12 hopes are still alive. Technically, OU could lose this weekend and still make the Big 12 championship game. Obviously, we don't want that to happen, but technically that is possible. I think for that to happen, Iowa State would have to win. Texas Tech would have to win. No, I think Texas would have to win.
Well, how about Oklahoma?
Iowa State would have to, yeah. We'll just do that. Anything else you want to talk about in this game?
No, we covered everything. I mean,
yeah.
we didn't play that well, but we won. Field was bad. Thank God we
kicking
go
was
back
bad.
home.
We didn't talk about that. Kicking was awful.
Yeah. Well, I mean I mean, honestly, like the only good thing about that field was, I mean, the injury to Dylan Gabriel could have been a lot worse hadn't the grass not been so.
Imagine that's turf.
Yeah. He's probably. I mean, he's out next this coming game and then possibly bowl game, depending on what bowl we go to or what bid we get.
Yeah. So apparently we've been slotted to get like the Cotton Bowl with Alabama.
That'd be good.
Wouldn't hate that. I mean, we'd probably lose, but I wouldn't hate that, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll move on past that. Other good games from the weekend. Oregon State Washington, a great game. Oregon State shut Washington out in the second half. Washington got up 22-7 or something like that. Awful weather. Those are the fun games though. Raining really bad. Teams have to find a way to make it work. Washington they look good. You know, they weren't great in the second half, but they did enough to win.
Though their defense won them the game.
Yeah.
Their defense kept them in. Roma Dunze was the only guy that could catch the ball.
Yeah.
Polk dropped everything. McMillan dropped everything. Penix was fighting his ass off, just trying to make those guys get a catch.
That sophomore running back from Oregon State.
He's good.
Martinez
is really good.
So fucking good, bro. Oh my God. It reminded me like
he was breaking tackles. He looked explosive. He's a stud.
Fantastic. He's gonna be so good.
On the flip side, their quarterback, DJ, he kind of stinks. And the receiving core is just small and they're not very good.
Yeah. I think you see apparently the Pac-12 is gonna let just Oregon State and Washington State just keep playing under the Pac-12 name.
Really?
Yeah, they're not leaving.
I mean, either they bring teams in or they're gonna have to
fold.
Go to a different
Yeah. So I don't know. Might as well.
Or join the Big Ten.
I think they should go Big Ten just to stay with Oregon and Washington. And also shout out to fucking Oklahoma State for being a shitty school. Washington and Washington State signed an agreement to keep the Apple Cup going through at least 2028.
Yeah.
It can happen, okay? You can't act like just because they're in different conferences, it can't happen. It can still happen.
Well,
both sides just have to want it to happen. So
you know how Mike Gundy is.
Oh, bitch.
He probably had a big say in that.
I'm sure.
It's Mike Gundy.
He gets whatever he wants in Stillwater. For good reason. He's been there, you know, for more than he's been there longer than I've been alive. So good reason.
Still has yet to win a Big 12 championship.
Still has yet to win a Big 12 championship. That is my favorite part about that whole scenario. What other games happened this weekend? We had Georgia, route Tennessee. Kind of expected that one to happen. Alabama, they kind of, 10 points to Chattanooga. Are we seeing the end of the season?
Yeah, I know. They took on a powerhouse in Chattanooga, and I actually had Chattanooga's first touchdown score, and I was wrong.
Damn.
That's usually how it happens with Bama, though. They play Chattanooga or Citadel, and they get scored on first, and it's 7-0 before they route the team.
Stop the count. But Jordan Travis, Michigan, Maryland. We'll get into that before we talk about Jordan Travis. Michigan, Michigan kind of stuck in a look ahead spot. Just had the game against Penn State, super emotional. Just had the ruling with Jim Harbaugh, and then they got the game next weekend. So I don't think that they had their heads against Maryland. I don't think they were in Maryland. I think they were back at home ready to play Ohio State. But that defense is so good, man. Forced two safeties.
And
they had the block punt. It had 2 picks, 2 safeties. Tulia Tagovailoa, it looks like he just folds under pressure.
Yeah.
But then again, that's
the
pressure of that Michigan defense, though. So
yeah,
tough one. Iowa State held their own for a while against Texas. Didn't really say Iowa State held their own. I think Texas just kept shooting themselves in the foot. In that one, they had 2 touchdowns called back due to penalties. On both of those, they kicked field goals. So kind of kept Iowa State had a beautiful pop pass on 4th.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Like quarterback ISO pop pass, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
That's crazy. I don't know. Is Quinn Ewers, is his head too big? Or is his like helmet too small? Because every time he takes off his helmet, he just has like a Joe Flacco, just like massive red line on his head. He looked good, by the way, but
he did look good. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both.
Their front seven is so filthy, which is kind of scary. And you said it, Iowa State wasn't going to be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
Devondre Sweat got hurt, and I thought for a second, like, okay, this is like, if Iowa State wants to run the ball, this is the time to do it. And then like he's out for like 2 plays, and they still can run the ball.
Yeah. And then he came back in and shut everything down. Did you see that picture of him pregame with his fucking chain on?
Dude, he's huge, and he's swag.
God. He looks like Big from Robin Big, bro.
He's huge.
Fucking massive. He's so good too.
Yeah, and he was a 3-star.
Yeah,
he was a 3-star recruit. So I'm just saying, it don't matter if they're 3 stars. Get them big. That's how you win football games.
Yeah. Oklahoma State escaped Houston, man. That one looked like I was getting real happy for that one for a while. And then Oklahoma State just had to come back, and Houston had to shit the bed on that one. So,
yeah, Ollie Gordon just 3 touchdowns, 170 yards.
Back to who he is.
Yeah, Alan Bowman looked better in the second half too.
He did. He's not great, but he takes care of the football pretty well.
Oklahoma State just always finds receivers too. They have a way of recruiting receivers.
That's true.
And they're all like 6'7", 6'6". Yeah. They're just massive. And even when they're like the shortest receiver they have on the team is probably like 6'2", and that's always their best receiver. Tylan Wallace, Rashad Owens now.
Yeah.
Des Bryant. Justin Blackman.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Is he Oklahoma State, or is he where did he go after Oklahoma State?
I don't know. It was some like D2 or FCS school or something like that.
Is it Central Michigan, Western Michigan, Western Kentucky?
I don't know. It wasn't one of those.
How do we not know that?
Some like Alabama school.
Oh yeah, West Alabama maybe? No.
It may have been.
Well, either way, yeah, Oklahoma State. They'll probably beat BYU, and it'll be Texas and Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship. But look ahead, Texas and Oklahoma are going to the SEC.
West Alabama, you were right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably all for a certainty that it's going to be Oklahoma State and Texas. Kansas State came back and beat Kansas.
Yeah.
That was surprising.
Kansas was
up on them.
Yeah.
Quick.
Did you see a College Game Day where PFT said that that was Rico Bosco's game of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kansas State. Kirby picked Kansas to win in Lawrence. Look, he was almost right.
I know. Hey, PFT on fucking game day though, like you just mentioned, that's pretty fun.
He was electric.
It was awesome.
He is so.
Pat taking his shirt off, man.
Yeah, that guy's like my hero, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lee Corso had absolutely no idea where he was, or
he's like Lou Holtz now. He's just
like, it's kind of sad, man. That's
like really is. I'm kind of ready for him to be off game day, so we can stop pretending that.
No, you got to keep him on. You got to keep him on until he's ready to quit.
Until it's over.
Yeah,
I guess that's fair.
It's just we got to be nicer to the old guys,
That's fair. But yeah, I mean, we'll kind of talk about it.
Did you see his when they were talking about the USC UCLA game? He said, "I'm going Trojans. This is their magnum opus."
Yeah.
Trojan magnum.
Yeah.
All his lines were hitting. Like it was electric.
Speaking of UCLA, man, they just fell apart.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of could see that coming, the way they were playing and how unphysical they were, and that last stretch of 6 games we knew was going to be rough. But
did you see Dan Mullen's tweet?
Shit to bed. Yeah.
He said we have the right
coach
LA
in the hot
coach.
seat.
Yeah. Well, and that was a big thing. Like Chip Kelly, people were saying like, Chip Kelly, he's on the hot seat, UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing? They're like, they've got dudes.
They do. And if Dante, what's his name? Fuck, I can't even think of it.
Dante Moore.
I almost want to say Dante Manning for whatever reason. Dante Moore. If he works out, they're going to be good, man.
Yeah.
They're going to be really good. Obviously, you can say that about every team with quarterbacks and stuff like that, but
he just needs – Lincoln Riley needs bigger recruits, which the recruiting class coming up, like, they've got big dudes in the recruiting class.
Oklahoma's still like 4 spots ahead of them by
yeah. But, I mean, Benny Wiley, the yoga, the kettlebells.
Doesn't work.
It just doesn't work. Like speed and finesse doesn't work when you play up against an Oregon or
especially
Ohio
them going
State.
They're going to the Big Ten now. So,
like, you've got to change your philosophy or go to an NFL. Go to the NFL.
He's got to get a new strength guy in there. It's just not going to work.
He's a great play caller. There was a play call that he ran against Oregon, and I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was Oregon where they ran like a jet sweep. It was a jet sweep flea flicker.
Yeah, and then did you see the Rams try to do that?
Yeah, we'll get into that later. But I thought it was a sweet play call, but that's not just it just doesn't win you games. Mm-hmm. But he's absolutely like USC fans are pissed. Like they're not having a good time. And it's not like USC was good before though. I mean, they were absolutely.
You see all the people trolling Colin Cowherd, Matt Leinart, and all them on fucking Twitter after USC finished 7-5.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're like, it does not look good. Like, that's pathetic because UCLA got absolutely routed and shit pumped by Arizona, which, by the way, Arizona's fucking good.
They still have a shot to play in the Pac-12 championship game.
I think they win whoever they play, Oregon or Washington. I'm just saying
Washington because Washington's there. They're 11-0.
Yeah, I know.
If Oregon loses, Arizona's in.
You don't want to see Arizona in the Pac-12.
They're one of the hottest teams in the country.
They lost in overtime to Mississippi State, right? Mm-hmm. They beat Mississippi State now with the way they're playing.
They murder Mississippi State now.
Yeah, they beat they beat USC in a rematch too. They're probably looking back right now and thinking, "Fuck, like we could be 10-1,
undefeated." Yeah,
they could be 10-1. I mean, they had a like USC. Okay, two things can be right. OU was okay. Well, two things can be right. You could still be a good team. You just haven't found your identity yet. Mm-hmm. Arizona started what, like 1-3, or 1-4 maybe. No, they weren't. They were 3-2, heading into USC, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
No, they were 3-1.
Let's see. So they were.
I might be thinking about Arizona State when I say 1-3.
They were 2-3.
They were 2-3.
No, 3-2. They were 3-2 because they beat North Arizona, lost to Mississippi State, beat UTEP, beat Stanford, lost to Washington before they lost to USC. So they started 3-3.
Yeah.
And then have won every game since then, including UCLA.
Yeah.
And Oregon State. And they murdered Washington State.
Well, and when USC barely escaped, you saw a lot of USC fans say, "Hey, Arizona's actually probably just good. You can't complain about our team." And everybody's like, "No, Arizona's not a good team." USC fans are right. Arizona.
They were right on that one.
Yeah, they were absolutely right on that. Arizona shit pumped Utah, screen passes for touchdowns, a blocked punt for a touchdown. Just, I mean, they're really good.
How many do they beat? They're favored 10.5 right now against Arizona State. I have to feel like they double that, right?
That's rivalry game. You never know. It's college football,
fair.
But they should. Yeah. With the way they're playing right now. Yeah. But college football, you just never fucking know who's going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can tell with like 3 or 4 teams, but
yeah. It's like Alabama, Georgia. But like your teams that are like your tier 3, when you're trying to figure out which teams are going to be, it's a coin flip. But no, Arizona looks very fucking good.
All right, let's get into it. As sad as it is, as much as I hate Florida State, I hate this even more, man. Bro, that ankle injury for Jordan Travis is just disgusting. It's awful.
The silence in the stadium when that happened, I can't even imagine what people were feeling.
It's got to be so bad, man.
They were behind. Like they were losing like to an FCS school. It was like 14-0 or 13-0. They start driving down the field, and like that was a pretty nasty injury.
It's like it reminded me of like Marshawn Lattimore or like Nick Chubb's.
I think this is a little different though, because this is your quarterback.
Well, I'm just saying the type of injury.
Yeah.
It's the same type of injury as those. But yeah, no, this is, I mean, their season's done, right? Like they maybe beat Florida this weekend, but even if they probably don't beat Louisville.
This is like Aaron Rodgers at the beginning of the Jets season tearing his Achilles.
Yeah.
Like all hope just goes out the window, because you know, as bullshit as it is, the college football committee's not going to put them in the playoffs.
No.
At this point, they could route the Pac-12 championship with their backup, and there's going to be discussions about it. No, with Jordan Travis being out, we're going to have to put in the Pac-12 champ, and then if Texas wins the Big 12, it's going to be Texas.
I mean,
and Florida State deserves to be there with how their season's been going.
You think even if they're undefeated, they don't put them in?
Yeah. I don't think so. Which is dumb.
I feel like if you do, you're setting them up for failure, though. Because there may be a 4 seed, and then they play.
Their team's pretty good. They find ways to win.
Their team is good, but when you take away one of, if not their best player, I mean, Keon Coleman and Jared Verse are their best players, obviously. But Jordan Travis is like. But hey, you've seen crazier things happen. I mean, you've seen teams win with backups.
I've seen Nick Foles win a Super Bowl.
Look at Ohio State in 2014 with their third-string quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Possible.
Yeah, and that's a good point that you just brought up. Like, Braxton Miller switched to wide receiver because of like JT. Like, he gets injured, JT Barrett goes in, takes over the season, and then he gets hurt in that Michigan game, and then Cardell Jones has to take over. Yeah.
Remember how much stock he got and how high he got drafted in the NFL based off that?
Yeah. So, and JT was clearly the better quarterback, but because he won the national championship, he got to start the next season.
Yeah.
And so, no, you bring up a good point. Yeah, Florida State, if they go undefeated, you should still put them in. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say like blue blood, but they compete. They've been in the playoffs. They've won a championship.
Yeah, they're like fringe blue blood status, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So I would still throw them in there if they're undefeated. Because let's say, look, rivalry game. Florida's not that good, but it's a rivalry game. It'll be the first game he started. Their backup, right? Probably going to be shaky. If they come out, look, Louisville's a good team.
Yeah.
If they if they murder Louisville, still a pretty good fucking team. If they win a close one, that's still an undefeated Power 5 champion. That's a pretty good fucking team, you know?
Yeah, you put them in my opinion. Now, with the case that you just made.
It can happen, man. Also, did you see Missouri winning it again on a walk-off? Bro, Florida fumbled that so bad.
Yeah.
Also, kind of from the way I was watching it, body language was from their guys. I don't think some of their guys wanted to even play in that game.
Missouri?
No, Florida.
Oh, Florida, yeah.
Like their defense, like that last drive, like they were throwing it and their guys were just like, okay, and just like walking around.
Billy Napier's lost the locker room.
He might have, like low key, he really might have, man. It didn't look good. But
their kicker's so good. I think of him as like a young Randy Bullock, just like a big dude, fat guy kicker. Fat guy kickers.
Remember that fat guy kicker from Penn State that would just blow people up on kickoffs?
Remember Sebastian Janikowski?
I do remember
He's
Sebastian
a fat guy.
Janikowski. He was a fat guy.
Fat guys are good kickers.
They are good kickers. Also good lovers during the winter. But
Nice.
anything else you want to touch on from Week 12 of college football?
Is there anything else you want to touch on? I think we've covered everything pretty well.
Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job.
Real quick, do you have a hotspot in dead zone?
Oh, I didn't even think about mine.
We'll do it for the neck. We'll do it for the recap.
Actually, you know what? I think my dead zone would be Florida State and Jordan Travis.
Yeah.
And then, my hotspot's going to be Green Bay. Jordan Love. That's my hotspot.
Okay.
Hotspot, Jordan Love, dead zone, Jordan Travis.
Okay. I like it.
Yours?
Thinking off the spot.
Yeah. What about yours?
Well, my hotspot was Italians.
Okay.
Italians for the win.
Yeah. DeVito. Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, you already know. We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah. And what about your dead zone?
I didn't have a
Americans.
Dead zone. I know, right? I actually didn't even think of a dead zone this week. I got busy, man.
Yeah, been a busy week.
Yeah, but that's my hotspot. Damn, I was unprepared.
Yeah, you sprung it on me, and I still got you.
Yeah, I know. That was a good one. That is true. Like, that sucks for Florida State. If you're a Florida State fan, I am so sorry. Your pain is immense.
Yeah.
Like,
it's tough.
We know how it is. Sam Bradford, 2009.
Yeah.
That
one hurt, man. That was pure pain. That hurt almost as bad as Baker after the Rose Bowl.
Oh yeah.
That one was sad. That one was sad. Now we're just gonna cry. Okay, let's get into NFL Week 11. I'll let you kind of take off on this one.
Yeah, man. We'll start with the Steelers and Browns. Browns win the game 13-10. Did you see the Myles Garrett pick up a helmet again?
yeah.
Where they were going for the tush push and his helmet fell off.
Yeah.
He picked it up and the Steelers linemen were like, no, not again.
It's like, hey.
Yeah.
Bro, the Browns look so clean with that white face mask on that helmet.
Yeah.
It's such a better look.
Well, and they're a good team too. Yeah. Like they're a very good team. And we had a lot of Myles Garrett incidents with the helmet. And then did you see the video that was going around of him in the gray sweatpants?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, like, he was doing an interview. I'm pretty sure it was either after or during a practice.
Yeah,
he was shirtless and he had gray sweatpants on, and he was just showing off his hammer. You gotta be.
Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. You're a lucky guy. You're like one of the best defensive players in the NFL, and you got a hammer.
He's great on defense, and he's great on offense.
Yeah, no shit.
Hey, speaking of the Browns, Obo Okoronkwo gave birth. He didn't give birth. His wife gave birth, their first child. He gave birth. It's probably Myles Garrett's fucking. Come on. His wife gave birth to their first child, and then
are we sure that's Obo's
he got the
kid?
sack. yeah. And then he got a sack in the game, man. So
oh yeah, and breaking news. Browns are at the top of the division, and they just signed Joe Flacco. Yeah, they're all in now. You don't sign Joe Flacco unless you're all in. You know you're going to make the Super Bowl. How crazy would it be if he just won a Super Bowl with the Browns?
Dude, I fucking know.
He could finally make elite status.
He's already there.
Well, people keep disagreeing with our takes that Joe Flacco's elite.
Do you think Eli Manning's
He's got
elite?
a chance to prove it once and for all. He had one of the best postseasons as a quarterback.
You think Eli Manning's elite?
He's got a very funny dumb face.
He does have a funny dumb face. He's got an elite dumb face.
Yeah, he's got an elite dumb face, and I love that.
Speaking of Browns Steelers, Matt Canada was fired today.
Yeah, and so Matt Canada was also let go. Kenny Pickett's now unleashed. Also, the Steelers just need to let Warren be their main guy. He's so explosive. That 70-yard run was
insane.
Yeah.
I flipped to Red Zone.
Fast.
Yeah, I flipped to Red Zone because I was watching the Packers game. Then I pulled up my phone and watched Red Zone. Dude, first play, as soon as I turned on Red Zone, was that fucking sweet.
What was the first play of the second half?
Yeah.
He just ran it 70 yards, and it was incredible. I don't know. Najee Harris looking kind of slow and clunky.
Beat Green Bay.
Yeah, he looked good against Green Bay, but yeah. Also, there was an incident where a Browns player Jerome Ford. I think it was Jerome Ford.
The running back from Cincy. Well, he went to Cincinnati College.
Then it was a different guy. It was a different guy then for the Browns. Let me check.
Also, DTR getting a win, dude. Now, they didn't have to do a whole lot, but Jordan Thompson Robinson getting a win is pretty great.
It was Michael Ford. Michael Ford, quarterback for now the Cleveland Browns. He took a terrible towel from a Steelers fan. He grabbed it and wiped his ass with it.
That's amazing.
That's like, listen, the terrible towel for Steelers fans is like a generational like piece of jewelry.
Like it's shitting in a cheese head.
Yeah. It's like exactly like if you took a cheese head from a fan, like when Sauce Gardner took one and you put it on. Yeah, that was probably passed down from like that guy's great grandfather. It's a cardinal sin.
It is. Come back to bite the Browns. Will the Browns win another game now?
Well, okay, so the Browns, their next game, I think. Let's look at their schedule. Let's see how the Browns could fare. So they got the Broncos next. Broncos are looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But let's look at the rest of their schedule. So the Browns, they got the Broncos. It's in Denver. Mm-hmm. And then they go to LA to face the Rams. And then they've got the Jaguars after that in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And then they get the Bears. They get the Bears at home. That's a flex game. Mm-hmm. So that's either going to be the 16th or 17th. And then they go to the Texans. And then they get the Jets. And their final game is against the Bengals. So, I mean, you got some tough opponents in there.
Is that Jets-Browns game going to end in a 3-2 fucking win for the Browns?
You think so?
It might, dude. Unless Aaron's back. But I think Aaron's not coming back unless they're like in playoff contention. And they probably won't be.
We'll see about that.
Well, then again, they do have the god Tim Boyle will be starting for them going forward.
Yeah.
We'll get Trevor into that. Siemian. Yeah, we'll get into it. Next game here, we got Bears-Lions. I thought the Bears were going to pull this off, man.
That's not what I had for my next game. Sorry.
Oh. What was your next game?
I had a Jags-Titans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jags 34, Titans 14. Jags are back.
Think so?
And the Titans suck.
Well, yeah.
This was actually the third time in Trevor Lawrence's career that he's had a 4-touchdown game, like 4 total touchdowns. Mm-hmm. 2 of those 3 have been against the Titans. So
damn.
He kind of owns Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. Maybe
Titans are not good.
Think he put any mayonnaise in his coffee for the game?
Or just ate a banana while the peel was still on.
Possibly.
But, I mean, if you're a Titans fan, that's one thing you have to look forward to is Will Levis because he has looked good in, like, some games. Like, at this point, maybe Tannehill's better than him, like, as far as, like, experience. But yeah. He's going to be your franchise quarterback.
Will Levis has a much higher ceiling.
Yeah. Like, you got to ride the season with Will Levis. You got to let him figure it out. He's got Spears in the backfield. He's got DeAndre Hopkins. They have to ride with him. Mm-hmm. They do. I agree. And the Jags, they looked good. I mean, their defense is playing well. Trevor Lawrence is playing well. Calvin Ridley, I mean, he's kind of had that season where he's at his ups and downs.
Yeah.
But their next game is going to be against the Texans, and that's going to be a
fantastic game.
That's actually a spot for the AFC South.
Yeah.
So whoever wins that game gets the first place.
Hey, that game is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's basically all it was. The Jags just put a shit pumping on the Titans. Next game, Dolphins Raiders, 20-13.
Yeah.
Okay. Contrary to popular belief, Jalen Ramsey's still elite.
Yeah.
I don't know why anybody thought that he was washed. Obviously, when he's out in the 2 picks, Vic Fangio defense, yeah, Jalen Ramsey's fucking good still. And the Dolphins, okay, they won a close game. Like their offense wasn't good. They were kind of clunky and shaky. And I mean, Tyreek Hill was still good, but Their offense was not very good, but their defense won in the game.
I think this is a good game for the Dolphins to show they can win in more ways than just outscoring people.
Yeah, because after they dropped 70 on the on the Broncos and they get shit pumped by the Bills, and this is actually their first team this is the first team with a 500 record, like a 500 win team I'm saying that totally wrong, but
first win against a team.
Yeah.
That's 500 or better.
Yeah. So, yeah, they were 5-5. The Raiders were. There you go.
Yeah.
You didn't have to beat a team that had a losing record.
Finally.
And so their defense is getting healthier. That's the thing. Like you got to give a Vic Fangio defense time. Like you got to give it a couple of years. Get the guys healthy. Get the guys in. He's a great defensive coordinator. They've got good talent on their defensive line too. I mean, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins. Missing a couple players like linebacker.
Yeah.
But
what, Jerome Baker? Do they still have him?
I think so.
Anyways,
I know they have Xavier. They've got Howard and Ramsey.
Yeah.
So that's really all you need in defensive backfield. But yeah, this is kind of a two-way victory. That's a victory for the Dolphins because you beat a team with a 500 record.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just a losing record, and it's kind of a moral victory for the Raiders, right? You played it close against a good team. Like, hey, we probably weren't going to win this game, but covered the spread.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I agree with what you say. One thing I'm kind of looking at here that I just see on ESPN, Dolphins are 5-0 at home.
Really?
Yeah, they're 5-0 at home. The Raiders.
It was in Allegiant Stadium, wasn't it?
No, it was at home. It was in Miami.
Yeah. Oh, it was?
Yeah. The Raiders are
Dude, I could have sworn
4-1 on the road.
Oh.
So it just shows because they're 1-5 away. But hey, if the Dolphins can keep winning games and get a couple home games, that might fare pretty well. Apparently they can play pretty well at home, but they haven't been tested by a litany of really good teams. So this Raiders win, I do agree with you, is really positive for the Dolphins. But I think that this Raiders team is a phony 500 team. You know what I mean? They lost their coach. They're not that good.
Antonio Perkins hasn't been bad as a coach.
Antonio Pierce,
yeah, my bad.
Antonio Perkins was the back row years ago, which is fantastic. Antonio Pierce does look good, but they're missing a lot of pieces, I think, in Vegas. But I do agree. It's a good look for the Dolphins to win that game.
Yeah. Also, Tyreek Hill is already 4th all-time receiving yards for the Dolphins. He's had like a 100-yard game like every time he's played this season, and he's on pace for over 2,000 yards. The closest receiver that's ever gotten to 2,000 yards was Calvin Johnson, Megatron. He had 1,964 with Matthew Stafford on the Lions. But yeah, Tyreek Hill confirmed best receiver in the NFL.
100%.
Unguardable, 100%. Great route runner, good hands.
Did you see that play? I'm assuming you did, where he catches it on that like deep post, and there's like 5 guys around him, and he just sprints right past them.
Yeah,
like they're not even there.
Yeah, he's uncatchable. He's unguardable.
He's insane.
He is really fucking good. But next game I have Texans Cardinals. Texans 21, Cardinals 16. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it. Texans are gonna win their division over the Jags. So? Yep. They proved to me with that game they can win when CJ Stroud isn't very good.
Yeah,
their defense stepped up.
He had 3 picks.
Yeah, he also had a welcome to the NFL moment. So we talked about Jackson Arnold having a welcome to college football moment, but he got hit really hard, hit his head really hard on the ground. I thought he was concussed. So when they brought him back in the game, and it didn't look so well. He was awesome in the first half though. He threw for 260 yards. He had more yards by himself than any team in
the first half. Yeah. Don't want to throw this out there. Texans, please wear the red helmets more. Those things are so clean.
Yeah.
Oh,
those
so
helmets are
beautiful.
very, very sexy.
They're perfect, man.
They are top
Red
3
Chrome is
helmets in the NFL.
Oh, 100%. I think the Broncos all white helmet is good. The Broncos white, that one's good. Fuck, honestly, I don't even know who I'd put ahead of theirs.
I kind of like the Cardinals white helmets.
The Cardinals white is nice. The Giants with the Giants throwback with the Giant script on there is nice.
But yeah, as far as the game is concerned, I'm bought in on D'Amico Ryans.
Oh, 100%.
Derek Stingley.
100%.
Derek Stingley is fast. He was going stride for stride with Hollywood Brown, who kind of struggled that game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's good. Will Anderson's good. Petry's good. They're just a good football team.
They are a good football team.
They are a very good football team. And Singletary, he looked good when he was running the ball.
Yeah.
But
he's made a lot more of his NFL career than I thought he would.
Yeah. Well, he was good.
He is good. He's a good receiving back. He was good with the Bills. I think he does a lot of things really good for you.
He was good in Florida Atlantic too.
Well, yeah. But with his size and his stature, and he's not being like excellent at anything, I thought he would just kind of fade out, especially in this era where NFL running backs don't last too long. But he's been in the league, 6-7 years now?
Yeah. Yeah, about 6 or 7 years.
He was drafted the same year as Kyler Murray because he played for FAU that year. So that'll be 2019, so 4 years.
Well, 2019. Yeah, 2019, 2020.
5 years.
5 years, yeah. Yeah, so the Texans are good.
Oh, yeah.
They are good. If CJ Stroud, just even when he has almost a perfect first half, if he has a terrible second half, they could still win the game, and they proved it. I get it; it's just the Cardinals, but I mean,
it's still an NFL team.
Yeah, exactly. On the flip and on the other side, the Cardinals, Kyler Murray looked good.
Yeah,
kind of shaky. Texans are a good team. They're all kind of small.
Yeah,
they need a big receiver. Rondell Moore, they have a bunch of
the Cardinals could be someone that really benefits from a Keon Coleman.
Yeah, or a Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
Or Marvin Harrison Jr. I hope not, because that's what the Bears need. That's the Bears pick.
The Bears.
But yeah, I mean, they kind of remind me of the Dolphins a little bit on offense.
Yeah.
Except the Dolphins have a much better offensive line and a much better play caller. Yeah.
Play caller. Mike McDaniel is fantastic. I love him. I'm so glad that his personality just is cool to see in the NFL.
Yeah. And Jonathan Gannon's the exact opposite, where he's just such a weird dude.
He is.
He's Mike McDaniel's weird, but
he's entertaining weird though.
Yeah, entertaining weird. Jonathan Gannon, pew pew.
Jonathan Gannon is that guy that sits down at the table at lunch and you kind of all get up and walk away.
Yeah. Oh, hey Gannon.
Hey man, what's up, bud? See you.
Yeah, they could use a big receiver. They had one. They could really use a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, couldn't they?
I think DeAndre Hopkins would be a good fit there.
Yeah.
I think now, dream scenario, imagine they had a guy like Larry Fitzgerald once. Oh.
Yeah.
And
did he ever actually retire?
Yeah.
Did he actually? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember seeing an official statement from him, but
I believe he retired after that last season in Arizona.
Probably. No. We'll move on to the next game.
Yeah.
Next game, I do have so the Bears and the Lions. That was a must-compete game, and they competed.
Yeah.
They covered the spread. It was the perfect tank game. It was. They were beating the shit out of the Lions. They forced Jared Goff to throw 3 picks. The defense looked awesome. Justin Fields looked so good. I'm all the way back on Justin Fields now. Yeah. The way he played, I know
he ran the hell out of the ball.
He threw a dime to DJ Moore. The protection broke down. Larry Borum whipped on a block. Devin Jenkins tried to make the push to help Justin Fields, but Justin Fields was just quick he wasn't even looking at the defender. He just felt the pressure, climbed in the pocket, was about to run, and just I mean, on a rope, dime to DJ Moore for a touchdown. Immediately, I was bought back in. I tweeted it. I said, I'm all the way back on Justin Fields. He looked good. And that play where it was at the end of the game. They ran the ball twice, and they made a play call to end the game. It was like a seal it for the kill, where they ran like a deep post with DJ Moore, but then it was just a straight vertical for Tyler Scott. They threw the ball. It was the right read because Tyler Scott was like, it was man on. That was a soccer term, by the way, but it was man coverage. He beat his guy. Safety's on the other side of the field. It was the right read, and it was a perfect throw. Tyler Scott just mistimed it. He's a rookie. Okay, I'm not gonna beat him up. He's a rookie. He misstepped. He didn't catch the ball. Yeah. But I was kind of happy that it happened because we need the draft pick. I want Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm just stuck in this paradox. This is deja vu from last year. It's Groundhog's Day. It's a Groundhog's Day effect where it's just going to continue to be this way for me, and it probably will. But it's so fun, like dream scenario with like having the number 1 pick and then having like 2 first-round picks. Like, say what you want about Ryan Poles, he's doing everything correct in my opinion. Like, if you want to build a team that like, you've got to gut a team, you've got to build like a Super Bowl winning roster. Like, you want to do it with you want to buy a couple of guys, make a couple of trades. You want to build your team in the draft, get a bunch of young guys. I think he's doing everything correct. And another thing, like, okay, so Groundhog's Day, yes, it's the same scenario from last year where I'm already ready for the draft and I want to tank. But this game finally let me know that I don't want Matt Eberflus as my coach anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, fire him and just bring in just like bring in Jim Harbaugh. There we go. Problem solved. Tank, build your team in the draft, get Marvin Harrison if he's available, and there you go. You start winning games and you start beating the Packers. That's all I can.
Stop it.
But on the other side, the Lions, Dan Campbell had a quote where he said, "Wear your diaper," because they were asking him about the wins that they've been kind of escaping with, like the Chargers and stuff like that. And his quote was, "Wear a diaper." Like, shit's gonna get intense. Lions fans, like, I told my buddy Arnold, who's a big Lions fan, I said, "Hey, make sure you wear your diaper." And he called me before the game, and he was basically saying, like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm sorry in advance for this ass whooping you're about to take." And for like for most of the game, I'm sure like he was wearing his diaper and shitting himself.
Oh, 100%. Had to have been.
26-14. I was hyped. Like, when we were up, I was like, we're gonna win this game.
Yeah.
Like, weird. Like, our defense is looking so much better. And then it's like 5 minutes into the fourth quarter. I'm like, we kind of need to lose this game though. Like, please find a way to lose. I'm a loser now.
One thing that I liked from the Bears in this game is the fact that they showed the ability to, because they got up on the Lions and they were down at halftime, and they came out and got back up on them quick. And so, like, one thing that I liked from the Bears, and that I'm sure was very promising to you, is the fact that they really battled through adversity in the entire game. Now, obviously, the Lions came back and beat them, but, you know, they got up on them quick.
The Lions probably battled through adversity, but
I mean, the Bears showed the ability to get up on someone and then do it again in the same game. Yeah, exactly. It's not like they were doing it on, like, the Panthers. Like, they were doing it on the Lions, who, by the way, Lions 8-2 for the first time since JFK still had a head.
Yeah, this is the best start they've had since like the 50s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't be mad about, like, you know, you beat the Chiefs without Travis Kelce. You can't be mad about that, or like fans can't be. You still beat the Chiefs. They were the Super Bowl winner. You're 8-2. You basically clinched the division.
That'd be 9-2.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm ready to say that they've clinched the division.
Yeah.
They're the best team in the North. They're the king of the North this year.
They are the king of the North this year.
Also, Jameson Williams. You talk about Jaden Gibson looking fast. Jameson Williams is very fast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they didn't. How could you not have figured that out after the Bucks game? He had that like 49-yard touchdown where he beat his man. I mean, he was beyond like his guy. He is so fast.
He's going to be so good for so long, dude.
Yeah. I'm just happy we picked off Jared Goff 3 times. And Tyreek Stevenson, the rookie corner that we drafted from Miami, he looked good.
Yeah.
He looked really good. He's improved a lot. Now, Eddie Jackson, I love Eddie Jackson. Like the season he had in 2018 with the playoffs, 8 picks, 3 pick sixes. He's getting old. Yeah. It's time for a safety. So I'm ready for us to draft Billy Bowman.
Hey, no. Packers are going to draft Billy Bowman.
You can get the guy from Penn State, Winston.
No, I want Billy Bowman. Bitch. No, I'm shit.
All right, rock, paper, scissors.
Let's go get a gun. Bitch. No, I'm shit. What's the next game you got on there?
I got Cowboys, Panthers. So Cowboys 33, Panthers 10. Yeah, it's about how we thought the game was going to go.
Yeah.
Deron Bland got his 4th pick 6 of the season, and that ties a record.
He's got more touchdowns than like Devontae Adams and fucking all kinds of dudes.
George Pickens.
Yeah, Pickens. He's fucking everybody at this point. Dude's insane, man.
Yeah, what a gift for that. He's a fifth-round pick too. But Cowboys are still good. Like in my opinion, yeah, they've lost to 2. Like they got their asses whooped by the 49ers. That's a problem, especially if you're going to be in the playoffs. But you keep it close with the Eagles. Yeah, you look really good against a divisional opponent, which you should. But yeah, I mean, it was good that they beat the shit out of the Panthers because the Bears still have the first overall pick. So,
your head's fully in April, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. But Frank Wright might be on the hot seat in his first season.
Probably.
You know, David Tepper.
It's been so bad there.
Yeah, David Tepper is that kind of owner too. Like he'll step in and say, "Hey, you're out."
I mean, he got rid of Matt Rule real quick.
Yeah. So things aren't looking well in Carolina, but
no,
you got to give it time.
Everything needs time. I think they have pieces. I think I said this a couple weeks ago. They have the pieces, but they don't have the map to the puzzle.
They kind of whiffed on that offensive lineman, though.
Yeah, Ike Ekwonu was a bad pick.
Yeah. Jonathan Mingo, we'll see. I thought he was good at Ole Miss, but I don't know.
Brian Burns is still a beast. Tracy Horn, when healthy, is really good.
Shaq Thompson.
Bro, okay, this is completely random. They didn't even play this weekend. Shaq Leonard was released today.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Where do you think he goes?
I have no idea.
What team could use the Dolphins could. Let him play in Vic Fangio's system. He's the kind of linebacker. You saw Roquan Smith, off the ball linebacker.
Yeah.
So let's see what Darius Leonard could do.
Or imagine him in, let's say, like, I don't know, maybe Cincinnati needs a linebacker.
Yeah.
Well, Cincinnati's season's kind of done.
Yeah, they're done. But you can get him and then just hope next year everything goes well.
Yeah. That is true.
Hey,
Cowboys without Leighton Vander Esch, Cowboys could probably use a Mike linebacker.
Yeah. Well, I saw a lot of Cowboys fans saying that.
Yeah.
Vander Esch, his season's probably. What's up?
Imagine they go to San Francisco. Oh God.
With Fred Warner.
Yes.
That would be so unfair.
Dude, I know. Well, Leighton Vander Esch's career might be over.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Cowboys fans want Leonard. Do we have to call him Shaq now, or is it still Darius?
I think it's still. I don't know.
We'll call him Shaq.
Imagine him in Philly. It'd be tough.
I don't think. Yeah, Philly doesn't really need a linebacker though.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised. Just stack that room, stack that team with as much talent as they can. What's the next game you got there?
Next game I got Packers 23, Chargers 20. Dalton, your thoughts?
This is the game. Now, Chargers have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. But this is the game that I wanted to see from Jordan Love.
Okay, there you go.
He was good in his dropbacks. He was progressing. He was going through his reads. The touchdown that he had to Christian Watson, that was his third read, with the dude barreling down on him. They ran like a flat and then like a stick out, and then they had Watson coming across on an over, and then they had Dontavian Wicks running motion that was going to run a dig. and he had the guy falling in his face and just kind of. Now, one thing I don't like to see from quarterbacks, in this situation, it worked out really well, and I haven't seen him do it a whole lot, but I've seen him do it a couple times. Sometimes when he's in the pocket, he'll kind of drift. That's not what you want to see from quarterbacks, but it worked out perfectly in this play. So as the pressure starts breaking down, because Zach Tom was it Zach Tom or John Runyon? One of them got beat. The edge rusher's in his face, and he's kind of drifting, and then perfectly just lays it up over the softest ball I've ever seen. Just lands right in Christian Watson's hands, and he caught it, surprisingly. The Packers as a whole ran a lot of good plays, and they ran some things I want to see more. Now, the Chargers stayed in like a really deep, too high safety shell. So it really opened up like some deep comeback routes, which I thought the Packers did really well in. Dontavian Wicks needs to get the ball more. Jaden Reed needs to get the ball more. I don't know if you saw that picture of him as he's coming around in the reverse, and he had a mirrored visor on, and the guy got a picture, and in the visor you can see his lane to the end zone. It's so badass.
Man. But this is, I mean, I'll give it to you. Like, this is, if you're a Packers fan, this is what you wanted to see, like your young talent kind of show out. Like, it shows like a promising future. Jordan Love, he looked good. Yeah. He looked really good. Romeo Doubs looks good.
Romeo Doubs is so good, man.
Yeah, he looked really good.
Now, what sucks, I figured we were already going to get dusted by the Lions this weekend, but Aaron Jones, MCL sprain. Yeah. Manuel Wilson hurt. Did you see our practice report or injury report from today?
No.
There were like 14 guys listed as limited or did not participate.
Well, Aaron Jones is the big one for sure.
Aaron Jones, yes, but also Luke Musgrave spent some time in the hospital. Our rookie tight end. He took a shot to the abs, man.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't know what happened. I didn't know if it ruptured his fucking appendix or anything like that, but apparently he's home, but he's obviously not going to play this week, so Tucker Kraft looked really good. I don't know if you saw that play that he should have scored on or almost scored on.
No, he did look good. The problem that you guys have is kicker.
You don't like Andrews Carlson?
He missed that kick.
He did miss that kick. But he's been fairly good throughout the most of the year, though. He's a rookie.
Yeah. He missed another kick, too, like last week or the week before.
Yeah, but, if he misses a couple.
Welcome to the NFL, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm going to give him more time before I sell on him, though.
Yeah.
He's looked good from time to time. I think he's only missed 3 or 4 all season, which is kicking in the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
80%. So defense looked really good, especially with the amount of guys in and out of the lineup and getting hurt and stuff. Carrington Valentine, fucking steal, man. 7th round pick, he looks great. Now, he did get real flat-footed. I don't know if you saw, so the drop that Quentin Johnston had. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see Carrington Valentine's coverage on that play, though?
Yeah, I did.
He's just flat-footed, not moving, and then you can't let Quentin Johnston get even with you as you go. Like, he was just way behind him. He was burnt like a fucking motherfucker. He was burnt like me with a toaster in the bath, bro. It was bad. So, but, hey. Packers are 2 games out of the playoffs right now. They're the 8th seed right now.
In the hunt.
They're in the hunt. Look, they have upcoming. They have the Lions this weekend, or this Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, and then they have the Chiefs the next week on Sunday Night Football. Probably both going to lose both of those games, but then they spring off. They got the Giants in MetLife. They come home to play the Bucs. They go to Carolina, go to Minnesota, and finish the season at home against the Bears. Packers could realistically win 5 out of their last 7.
Yeah,
they could be sitting at 9 and 8.
Yeah,
they could finish the season with a winning record.
They could. It's just you're going to be that last seed, and it's going to be between the Packers and like an NFC South team.
Well, we're going to need the Vikings to lose a couple games to really get help. Look, if we make the playoffs, we lose, right? We'll lose to the 2 seed will probably be someone like probably the Lions is probably who we'll get the draw against, or maybe the 49ers. It doesn't look good, right? But I don't even want to see them make the playoffs necessarily this year. I want to see more of games like today. They don't have to win, but I want to see the young guys stepping up and making plays and Jordan Love doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
As long as they keep doing that, I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's basically the tale of two stories with this game. Packers, they got to see their young talent just kind of shine today, and it's like you said, that's what you wanted to see. And then you're the Chargers. I mean, I've been watching Chargers games for a long time. A former manager of mine when I worked at a place in Wichita Falls, big Chargers fan. His brothers, sometimes you'll see him at like the Chargers games on TV. He's a season ticket holder. Chargers should never be favored against anybody because this is what they do. Like, you can say all you want that Justin Herbert may be the problem. No, you watch the game through and through. Everybody let him down, and this is how it is with Chargers quarterbacks. This is how it was with Phillip Rivers. Yeah. Phillip Rivers, you got a franchise guy that can get you to a Super Bowl. You got the same thing with Justin Herbert. Like, the Chargers going into the game, Justin Herbert's record as a Charger was 29-29. They're like the most average team.
Yeah.
And they have so much talent. And they always just have a stinker.
See how slow Austin Eckler looked on that one play where he finally bounced outside?
Or the play where he fumbled on the 2-yard line?
Where he slipped and fell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen
they gave that game to Green Bay.
Yeah. Keenan Allen drops a wide open touchdown. Quentin Johnson.
2.
Yeah.
Well, he had like 3 drops. 2 of them probably were touchdowns. And one of them was a third down conversion.
Yeah. And you saw almost the delay game, they have to call a timeout, and Justin Herbert just all the frustration in the world just slams the ball.
You see Brandon Staley's post-game interview?
There was
are you going to continue to keep calling defense? He's like, I've answered this question every.
Yeah. Okay. That's a coach that's on the hot seat. He knows.
Yeah. He's stressed. That's anxiety.
He absolutely knows he's on the hot seat, but that's Chargers. I never have high expectations as much as I cheer for the Chargers because I want them to finally break the curse. This is what they are.
Yeah. I do have one final thing to say about that game. I've given Matt LaFleur a ton of shit. That was the best game he's called.
With Jordan Love at quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he threw 340 yards.
Well, it's not even that Jordan Love played through well, which he did, and he made the right reads and everything. But for what the Chargers presented defensively, Matt LaFleur made a lot of the right play calls to put them in position to succeed.
Yeah.
And it gave me a lot of hope going forward. So, we'll see.
Also, I was kind of right about Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
I was kind of right. Just throwing it out there. I know my receivers.
I'll give you that. Receiver and DB, you seem to have a knack for those two positions, man.
Yeah. I've watched Oklahoma all my life. I know what a bad DB looks like and what a good one looks like. And Oklahoma's had some bad ones.
Had some good ones.
Also, the Bears, they produce great defensive backs too.
They do.
That has nothing to do with why I know. I watch college film and I'm like, oh, that guy looks kind of good. I think he's going to be a stud.
Yeah.
But
works out.
Any other thoughts on that game?
No. I'm just kind of like you said about the Bears. You kind of said I want to see them just compete in every game.
Yeah.
Clean, competitive football.
We're losers.
Yep. Must compete game.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I think I've turned Brasher into a Bears fan.
Have you?
Yeah. He has gotten me so pumped. Like, every game, like even at the beginning of the season or like the beginning of last season, he was straight up like, I think Justin Fields is going to be the most improved quarterback. I was like, no, you're wrong. And then Justin Fields played the way that he did last year. And then, he told me to pick the Bears +8 against the Lions on Saturday. He said, I think that's a lock.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a Bears fan now. He's talking good about Fields. He said DJ Moore was a fantastic get, which I knew it was.
Yeah.
But he had me more hyped than I originally was about DJ Moore. He might be a Bears fan, and he's kind of a ball knower. He plays a lot of DraftKings and fantasy, so he's got me hyped.
Yeah.
So, hey, that makes me happy. I've turned one of my roommates into a Bears fan. And Malone is like a closeted Bears fan. He doesn't want to admit it because he's a Cowboys fan, and I always shit on him when the Cowboys suck. So he has to find every opportunity to shit on me. I'm you can't hurt me anymore. My future is so much brighter than the Cowboys.
You got a
We're building
steel
the
curtain
dynasty.
around you.
Yeah. But okay, last game of the early slate that I have. Giants Commanders, Giants 31, Commanders 19, Tommy DeVito. I'm all in. I love this guy. That's why Italians are my hotspot.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito, he looked so awesome. He's had 5 touchdowns in his last 2 games. He was throwing the ball well. He was cooking the Commanders. He put the pride of Jersey and Italians on his back. He's thinking of his mother, his father, his Uncle Frankie, his cousin
Still lives at
Paulie.
a home, man.
Yeah. He had a good dinner. I'm pretty sure he did.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Tommy DeVito. Did you see his post game it was like the post game camera shot that they do, and he said he had Jersey juice. Yeah. Go watch it. It's funny. He said he had that Jersey juice. My interpretation of it was he put coffee, gabagool, prosciutto, pepperoni, salami into a blender and had that for his early game breakfast. That's Jersey juice. PFT commenter said it was Red Bull vodka. Apparently, we were both wrong. He said that Jersey juice is to have confidence in the face of adversity. So people in Jersey, they face adversity, apparently.
I guess so.
Yeah. But Tommy DeVito was
being in the NFL. That's adversity.
Yeah.
He looked good though. He looked
okay.
Really good.
He's faced some adversity. He has to quarterback for the New York Giants.
He does. He had to sit in the same meeting room as Danny Dimes.
He has more touchdowns than Danny Dimes right now this season.
You know, he's got more games with multiple touchdown passes than Kenny Pickett does in his career.
Of course he does. He's fucking Tommy DeVito. I'm all in on this guy. He's the franchise quarterback for the Giants.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Jersey, that it's in New Jersey. He's the guy. This is a win for me. The entire Italian nation is very proud of Tommy DeVito. Yeah. This was more of a win for me.
Giants go draft like Bo Nix.
I'll be so pissed. He's gonna have to. It's like Zach Wilson. I'm gonna make that guy work. I'm gonna make that guy work his ass off to compete with me. Tommy DeVito's dad's gonna be the Saints. Who the fuck is this guy?
Who the fuck is this guy?
My son can carve up a defense better than this fucking Bo Nix. More like pick six. But yeah, Tommy DeVito, he can officially say that he's won a game in the NFL.
Yeah.
Whenever he's done playing in the NFL, whenever he's finally cut, he decides to, join the mafia and stuff. He can go to his guys in the meeting and be like, hey, I fucking single-handedly defeated the commies. What the fuck have you done for me?
You think he actually secretly runs the mob? That's why he's still living at home?
No.
No? You don't think he's a mob boss?
No. His favorite movie is like Too Fast, Too Furious.
No.
Good movie, but good taste.
Not a mob movie.
Yeah, it's not a mob movie.
Surprised it's not like Goodfellas.
Yeah, I know. You would think it was Goodfellas or something like that. If you've seen his parents, up in the stands. I'm sure. Look, I'm proud of him. I'm all in on Tommy DeVito. That's my guy. On the flip side, Sam Howell just can't compete with the Giants. I don't know what it is. The Giants have his number. He threw 3 picks. He's still the guy. I mean, I'm sure if you're a Commanders fan, you're like, okay, step back. It was a step back from what you wanted, but
all true first-year starters are going to have that, though.
2 things can be true. He took a step back, but he's still the guy.
Yeah, certainly.
Did you watch any of the game?
I saw a little bit of it. More so just watching my fantasy lineup get destroyed because Jahan Dotson played like dog shit, and Saquon Barkley, I was playing against him, and he had...
Dude, he threw a dime to Saquon Barkley for the first touchdown pass. It was so beautiful.
He did.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns, 286 yards. He had that Jersey juice.
Jersey juice, man. I guess it's real.
Yeah.
I guess it's real.
You can now forget about that Cowboys game if you're Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
Because he's getting better. Let's see, the Giants, their next game is against the Patriots.
They could win that.
Bill Belichick, good head coach. He's got a pretty good record against rookie quarterbacks. So maybe Tommy DeVito can finally break that streak.
Watch them just go on a tear. Just carry the Giants back into the playoffs.
I'd win twice. The Bears keep losing for a draft pick, and then Tommy DeVito keeps going off.
Fair enough.
So
Fair enough.
I need him to continue to have success. Do you have any other thoughts on the early slate games?
No, nothing really.
Okay. We can move to the afternoon. Bucks 49ers. 49ers look good. They look.
Hey, Baker had a nice block on Bosa.
He did.
You see him fucking after the fucking first down.
Yeah, Bosa was not. He was not happy, and he horse collar tackled Baker in the pocket. But Brock Purdy had a perfect passer rating that game.
Won me my fantasy game.
Yeah. 158.3. Mm-hmm. How did they come up with that metric?
I honestly couldn't tell you. Because I see like passer rating, then I see QBR, and it's like
yeah, QBR, like a good one apparently is like 90.
Yeah.
And then passer rating was 158.3. He looked good. Brock Purdy looks good. The 49ers look good. It was a push because the spread was 13.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a push. But, yeah, I mean, the 49ers, they look good. The Bucks look bad. Like, their offensive line is so bad. They're 31st in rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Brandon Ayuk's really good.
He's really good.
He doesn't get talked about enough.
He's really good. I think.
But when Deebo
Samuel
the
Buccaneers
was like,
are 31st in rushing.
Yeah. The offensive line is so bad.
I think they look a lot better when they get Rashad White outside, like on swing passes and stuff.
He's
get
like
him in
Marcus,
space.
He's like a strong, or Marcus Major.
Yeah. He looks good in space. Sorry, I just found the formula for passer rating and it looks retarded.
What is it?
So it's 4 things multiplied together, divided by 6, and multiplied by 100. But it's A plus B plus C plus D divided by 6 times 100. But A is completions divided by attempts minus 0.3 times 5. B is yards, or completions divided by attempts minus 0.3 times 5. B is yards divided by attempts minus 3 times 0.25. C is touchdowns divided by attempts times 20. And D is 2.375 minus interceptions divided by attempts times 25. And then you take A, B, C, and D, add them together, divide by 6, and multiply by 100. And 158 is the highest number you can get. Makes no sense, right?
That just kind of broke my brain a little bit.
I'm taking statistics, so it makes perfect sense to me. But
yeah,
I'm starting doing my own passer rating calculations.
Nerd. Anyways, yeah.
Got my calculator. Faggot. No, I'm kidding.
The Bucks. So Kate Otten dropped that wide open touchdown in the end zone that would have kind of kept it closer. The Bucks would have covered the spread.
Yeah.
49ers look awesome, and Bucks don't.
Yeah.
Baker had some really, really incredible throws, and then he had some like head scratchers.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to be Superman because his team keeps letting him down.
Feel bad for Baker, man. He just can't work out anywhere he goes.
I don't feel bad. He still looks good.
I mean, yeah, he does look good. That's the good thing is he's made himself money. He's making himself money this season. But
he's got nothing else to prove to me. Like I know he's a good quarterback. And I mean, Mike Evans is about to have 1,000 yards this season.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin's still a good receiver. Now, I think it was either Tyler Palmer or Tompkins that like almost made an awesome catch, but he just didn't have strong enough hands, but it would have been a first down and they had to punt it away.
Yeah. He had a nice little jet sweep play. Like earlier in the game.
Oh yeah.
Troy Palmer, I think is his name.
Rashad White tore. He actually injured.
Yeah.
I think it was Eufaula.
Yeah. He ruptured his fucking knee, dude.
That sucks.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough one. But I don't trust Todd Bowles as a head coach.
I don't either.
I still think the Bucks are going to win the division, and they'll probably get a home playoff spot. but they'll probably finish the season either 8-9 or 9-8. Which I had 10-7 for the Bucks. I could be wrong. But I mean, it's anybody's division except for the Panthers.
Yeah.
And probably the Falcons now. I think we could say the Falcons. It's between the Saints and the Bucks.
Yeah, no, certainly. I think it's the Saints to lose.
Yeah. And the Bucks to lose. Any other thoughts on that game?
Nothing much other than it's still absolutely ridiculous the fact that the 49ers have Bosa and Chase Young on the same
And
fucking
Fred
defensive
Warner.
line. And Fred Warner.
Yeah. And if they get Darius Leonard, we're all screwed.
Fuck you. Yeah, I know.
Well, they still got to get past the Eagles.
They do. Who we will talk about in a minute, but
yeah.
Goddamn.
Next game, Rams 17, Seahawks 16. I knew it. In the back of my head, I fucking knew it, and yet I still bet the Seahawks. I got talked into it. In the back of my head, the whole time I was thinking, the Rams, divisional game, Matthew Stafford's coming back. Sean McVay, he's like a good coach. His teams always want to play for him. Cooper Kupp gets hurt. They face adversity. Jersey juice.
The Jersey juice.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford had to have some of that Jersey juice. Also, you did point out that Sean McVay tried to take that trick play from Lincoln Riley's bag of tricks. And Lincoln Riley, Caleb Williams, and Brendan Rice pulled it off. And
Matt Stafford got folded in fucking half on that goddamn play.
Yeah, he got absolutely smacked. But they came back and won.
They did.
Cooper Kupp got hurt and Puka, he showed out. The Seahawks quarterback situation. Geno Smith had to come back in after getting injured because Drew Lock went out there. It seemed like he had moxie, because there's been times where he's played this season. I think it was this season he had to play, but he just kind of stinks. Yeah. And so Geno had to go back out there because it was basically an injured Geno still better than an uninjured Drew Lock. They had what's his name? I was
writing down some notes on some stuff. My bad.
He used to play for Georgia, then he transferred to Washington. It was when Jake Fromm took over his spot in Georgia.
Jacob Eason.
Yeah, they used to have Jacob Eason. That was, I thought that guy was going to be like a lock for NFL starter. He's just.
I never really saw it.
Really? He was good at Georgia.
I never really saw it in him. He was, but I never really saw it in him. I didn't see enough.
He reminded me of Matthew Stafford, like size and build and look. But hey, I don't know quarterbacks. I mean, I kind of do, but yeah. So the Seahawks, I predicted earlier in the season that they might win the division. I take it back. It's going to be the 49ers.
Oh, yeah.
Brock Purdy hasn't missed a step. Now, if they stay healthy, it's the 49ers. But the Seahawks battle for second place, could still get in the playoffs. What does their schedule look like?
Do you think the 49ers would still draft a quarterback in the next few years?
No, I don't think so.
You think they stick with
Brock Purdy looks good in that offense.
Yeah.
He's good when everything is right, like when the team's healthy and Trent Williams is out there and Christian McCaffrey can run the ball. He's very efficient. I don't think you need to draft a quarterback.
That's
Didn't work out with Trey Lance.
That's fair.
Let's look at the Seahawks schedule. Are they on a bye? There's no way. Oh, no, they have a Thanksgiving game. That's right. Okay, the 49ers. So it's a spot for first place. 49ers 7-3 and Seahawks 6-4. So that is a night game, and that's going to be a very good game.
Oh, 100%.
So, yeah, we'll definitely have to preview that one. I don't have anything else much from this game other than I should have known. I was saying it all Saturday. I think the Rams are going to win this game. It was in the back of my head.
Yeah, why
don't I just trust my gut?
Hey, the Seahawks almost pulled it off, right? They got down there and put themselves in field goal.
Yeah, I know. Position. I know. You're right.
But it is a pretty interesting game. It's pretty interesting. He just got I just can't. I saw it again today. I just can't stop thinking about Matt Stafford getting just folded in fucking half.
Yeah, I know. He's been injured enough.
God bless. Hey, speaking of Devon Witherspoon, your guy, he lights motherfuckers up, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember Gabe Lynn at OU? That would just kill people. He just murders people.
Well, he's just like the defensive back version. I mean, he's Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
What he is.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, he hits people. And he's good, like, in coverage. You don't
Yeah,
throw the ball
he
near him.
is.
He is really good at, like, you can't throw a screen on his side of the field.
No, he's got real high football IQ.
Yeah, you're wasting a snap, or you're guaranteed like a tackle for loss if you throw a screen towards his side of the field.
He gets around blocks real easy too in space.
Yeah, no, he's really good. And I'm pretty sure there was a play where he just absolutely suplexed like a Rams player.
Yeah, and defensive rookie of the year, right?
Who else? I would give it to Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah.
But I mean that's just me. I can't think of anybody else.
Maybe like a Will Harris.
Yeah. Maybe well, it's kind of past the point. Like Will Anderson is going to have
Will Anderson. I mean, not Will Harris.
Yeah, Will Anderson's going to have like 15 sacks for the rest of the season to get defensive rookie of the year. But he's looked good.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think it's going to be Devin Witherspoon just based on how he's played so far. Yeah. Seahawks secondary is still really, really good. I don't know. We'll see how they may draft a quarterback.
They might.
They may draft a quarterback, but he's kind of figured it out with Smith and Jigba now.
Yeah, Jason looks good, dude. Oh my God, he looks so good.
We said it. I mean, we said that he was the best receiver in that class.
Yeah. So one I wanted most.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they're going to figure it out with him. He's a slot guy right now, but if Tyler Lockett retires in a few years, which I don't think he will, but then he'll be their number 2.
So next game here, we got Bills just slaughtered the Jets. Zach Wilson's done.
Holy shit, that was bad. That was
Zach
really
Wilson's
bad.
Done, man. He's officially the third string now. Trevor Siemian's the backup. Tim Boyle, the GOAT himself, Tim Boyle is now the starting quarterback for the New York Jets.
I watched that game. That was
Zach Wilson's last chance, you got to think, right? You see him busting his ass coming out of the fucking.
Yeah, it did, and that's a good way. That's a good point to bring up. There was every Zach Wilson moment.
Yeah.
Like just unable to throw the ball. He gets sacked before they even get into a huddle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure, like Robert Saleh tried to injure him on the sidelines.
Dude,
you saw that?
Arm across the chest, just bam.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure he was looking for a way to, like, injure him so he can be like, okay, like, I can finally put somebody else in. But
I'm surprised he didn't try putting Sauce Gardner in a quarterback. just anything, dude.
Well, yeah. Like, the way that game played out, like, the defense is getting sick of the offensive shit. Like, Sauce Gardner was so mad that he knew he couldn't take it out on Zach Wilson, so he decided to take it out on Stephon Diggs, and he picked him up and just slammed Stephon Diggs to the ground. Like, he took out all of his frustration that he has for Zach Wilson on Stephon Diggs. Like, their defense gave up. They said, no, we're done carrying the team. Man, I don't know too many Jets fans, but this has to be rock bottom.
Yeah.
This absolutely has to be rock bottom. He was 7 for 15, 81 yards. He had 1 touchdown. That was to Breece Hall. Most of the yardage came from that Breece Hall pass. Yeah. They had the punter. They ran a fake punt, and they basically threw it instead of punting it. And that was like that quarterback probably almost had more yards than Zach Wilson. That punter did. Yeah. That was really bad. And I mean, the Bills, they did look good.
Yeah.
I know it kind of seemed more like the Jets just gave up rather than the Bills won. But maybe this is a turning point. Maybe after losing to the Broncos, this is a turning point for the Bills. Who knows? They got a pretty tough.
Good, man. He looked good. He still threw a pick. He still had that turnover.
That arm punt?
Yeah.
How I feel about arm punts.
Yeah, that's true.
not too.
I
mean, if you do it all the time, then it starts to get to a point where it's like, okay, you got to stop. If you do it a few times, then I can get behind it. But the Bills have the Eagles next, and it's in Philadelphia, and then they go to Kansas City, and then they get to play the Cowboys. So they have like a 3-game gauntlet coming up.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be tough for the Bills, but my God, the Jets, dude, that was pathetic.
It was bad.
That was very bad.
Just awful, man. Just so awful.
And like you were saying earlier, I mean, you brought it up earlier that like Aaron Rodgers could return. Why would you want to get behind that offensive line?
No, no. There's no reason he should even want to come back.
Yeah, that offensive line is not good whatsoever. And Mekhi Becton got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got carted off the field. And I mean, that's their left tackle. That's the blindside blocker. But yeah, man, that was a rough game to watch. It was rough because I had the Jets +7.
Oh shit. Okay, so.
And then the Jets have the Dolphins next.
By the way, so going back to Luke Musgrave, I was talking about his injury. Sorry, I just pulled this up.
No, go ahead.
Lacerated kidney.
Ooh, that's out for the season.
Grade 4 lacerated kidney.
That's out for the season. Keenan Allen had the same thing in 2014. He was out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
He looked good, too.
23 yards away of the Packers' rookie tight end record for receiving yards, by the way. Tough for him.
Who has it still?
I think it's either it's either Jermichael Finley or I think it's Jermichael Finley. Him or Bubba Franks.
Bubba Franks.
I'm not a smart man, Janae. But sorry, yeah, I completely cut you off, but I just saw that and I thought it was worth noting.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that with the way the Jets played, unless they can rally behind Tim Boyle, Dolphins are going to have an easy win.
Yeah.
And Jets are going to go to 4-7. I can't believe earlier in our quest in the podcast in the season, I thought the Jets would beat the Dolphins. Well, it looked like it. They beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
And they were just beating
teams.
Their
defense was playing so good, though, it kind of gave you hope.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Browns. The Browns' defense is so good, they can win without their offense doing much. But I don't think the Jets' defense is as good as the Browns. The Browns are just suffocating, bro.
I think the Jets' defense has the potential to be better than the Browns, but they're just dumb.
They have the potential. They're just, I guess that's fair. Also, think about where this Browns team might be if Baker was still there.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens with Joe Flacco.
That is true. I forgot about Joe Flacco. We just talked about it.
Yeah, the Browns, we didn't even talk about that. Like, basically going through like a roller coaster of a season, like Deshaun Watson, all the allocation, like everything that's happened to him. And then he comes back and finally looks good against the Ravens and then has to have season-ending surgery.
Yep.
And now you have Joe Flacco. So their Super Bowl's in his hands.
It is.
Now, and Nick Chubb being out too.
Yeah. God, I hate Nick Chubb being out, man. Nick Chubb's one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah, he's so good. Kareem Hunt, I mean, he's good too, but I don't know. He benefits from Chubb's there.
Yeah, no, certainly. Everyone benefits from a little bit of Chubb every now and then.
Yeah. They don't have Chunt.
They don't have Chunt. They don't. Anything else you want to talk about on this game?
No, I don't. There's nothing else I can think of. Oh, man. I feel for Jets fans. All the hype this season. Defense was good. Aaron Rodgers. The Jets are cursed. They
100%.
are. Like, it may be a point. It may get to a point where they're as cursed as the Chargers.
Yeah.
They are as cursed as the Chargers. Man, that sucks. Bills maybe turn it around, though. We'll see. Broncos, Vikings.
Good game.
The Broncos. Okay, 4-0.
Rallied, man.
Yeah. if they're 4-0 since they were 1-3, or no, they were 1-5, weren't they?
Something like that.
They've now beaten the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Vikings. And the Vikings were getting good, so like I can count that as like a good win because they signed Josh Dobbs, like the Vikings were getting better.
Yeah.
Is Russell Wilson back?
I think so. Cortland Sutton is amazing.
He's so
that
good.
Catch he had on 4th down, dude. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, they've kind of figured it out. And it all came after they got ass whooped by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I don't know. Watch out for the Broncos.
They gotta work. They get a bunch of work to do before they get fully square into the playoff picture and really cement themselves there. But
yeah, they were 1-5 because their only win was against the Bears. Shit.
And then they routed off the Packers, the Chiefs.
So, they beat the Packers, the Chiefs, the Bills, and now the Vikings. Yeah. And now they have the Browns coming up. That might be a sneaky good game.
Yeah. No, certainly.
Like, those two teams, like on paper, that probably looks like a shit game. Like
especially like
if DTR starting. Yeah, like if DTR starting, that's probably a shit game. But the Broncos are currently favored. Can you guess the line?
-3.5.
Close, 2.5.
Ah, damn.
It's at home too, so that kind of gives you.
Yeah.
So, but Russell Wilson, he's looked a lot better. He's made some throws that are like, it looks like he's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see it though. As weird and quirky and dorky as he is.
Well, you like because that's how America works. Like you shit on a player and then like they have their moment and you're like, oh yay, they're good again. I'm happy for them. It's kind of like Baker with the Rams.
It is fun to see Russell Wilson suck shit though.
Yeah.
It's also fun when he plays well.
Yeah, it's just easy to shit on the guy, and you want to continue to shit on him because he's kind of a weird dude. But I'm happy for him; he's playing well.
I love his fucking pregame where he just spinning before the fucking. It's like Dak with his fucking.
Well, they have a few tough games coming up. So the Browns are their next opponent. Then they go to Houston and they play the Texans. Then they got the Chargers, which they'll probably win that game. We'll see. And they got the Lions. So that's a pretty tough schedule coming up.
The way they're playing, man.
There's a path for them to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, like, if they can finish out the season strong and get the ball to Marvin Mims, then also Pirine fumbled. That was kind of sad.
Yeah. Pirine looked good, though. He looks good. And
he's had a problem.
He has had a fumbling problem. It's been really weird to see.
Yeah. Like, I've never seen him have a fumble problem until this season. Maybe that's just a Broncos curse because, like, Melvin Gordon always fumbled. Well, he always fumbled it when he was playing for the Chargers, too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You got to have, like, one guy. You just wish it was somebody else and not Pirine.
But he's really good in pass protection. And
he's very good in pass. He's huge, too.
Yeah, and he's really good out of the backfield catching the ball, too.
Yeah.
Which, weird because, obviously, when he's at OU, that was mainly Mixon's thing. But it's good to see. I love Samaje Perine's one of my favorite centers of all time. So it's fun to see him do good.
I wonder how the Broncos are just like have been able to rally. It's the same players.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything in the trade deadline.
I mean, they dropped like their older pass rushers.
Yeah.
That's not going to change. Nick Bonito's played fantastic.
Yeah.
But
Patrick Surtain's still the stud. Yeah. They were talking about trading him too.
Yeah,
like, there were talks all around the NFL, and it's a good thing they didn't now.
I feel like Sean Payton's finally starting to get things going, and I feel like the offense is starting to kind of flow.
Yeah,
I think that's what's really going for them now. Is their offense is able to like bail them out of situations now. So, see, Kareem Jackson got suspended again.
Yeah, that hit on Josh Dobbs.
Yes, bro.
Hey, let the guys play football.
Yeah, let them just murder each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Brady talked about it on Stephen A.
Yeah.
Where he was like, I feel like football is like there's not a lot of what is it called? Like like the coaching has gotten worse.
Yeah.
Like it's become mediocre.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I don't know. I feel like the game's been watered down a little bit though.
Yeah.
But it's still the best sport out there. So by a mile. You got anything else to say though on Sunday night?
I do not. Sorry, I'm getting.
No, you're good.
Our Twitter account's getting likes.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Nice, dude. Nice.
I'm gonna give you the login. That way you can start tweeting some stuff.
Oh yeah, fuck. I need that. Let's get into Monday night's game though. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of it. Was filming for the other podcast. Kind of had it on in the background. I know you watched it. At least watched most of it. Eagles 21, Chiefs 17. I told you the Eagles were going to win. I had that feeling the Eagles were going to win.
The whole "I told you so" is that was unnecessary.
Yeah, it's all right. Packers fan, used to it. But I feel like Jalen.
I don't ever do that to you.
Well, because you never tell me. Just kidding. I feel like Jalen Hurts. I see all the memes, but I feel like it's true. Jalen Hurts' favorite thing has got to be watching his teammates get tackled at the one, dude. It's like
they call back-to-back screenplays.
I know.
Okay, so we're so like, if you're not a Chiefs fan, like you hate the Chiefs. That's like kind of a common thing in America, where hating on the Chiefs has just become like a ritual. It's like become the norm. Yeah, because they're good. They've won 2 Super Bowls and like they've been so good lately. I fucking love this Chiefs defense. This is my favorite defense.
So good.
This is my favorite defense in the NFL.
Steve Spagnuolo, dude. He's like the Brent Venables in the NFL. Exotic pressures, a lot of different. He's going to throw a lot of different things at you.
Well, all of his young guys, like all the draft picks from last year, they're turning out to be really like.
George Karlaftis looks good.
Karlaftis looks good. The pickup from when they got Drew Tranquill from the Chargers, he's looked good.
Yeah.
Willie Gaze looked good. Like it was a big deal when Nick Bolton got hurt. Just like that was their stud linebacker, but they haven't missed a step. Like their defense is. I talked about it last week on the podcast. Like I trust this defense. That's why I had the Chiefs winning, because I thought their defense was so good, and they proved it. I mean, as much as like, if I get it, like hating on the Chiefs is easy now. No, I absolutely love this defense. It's my favorite defense in the NFL right now. Like the way it's like you said, like what Brent Venables has done in his career with his defenses, that's what it reminds me of. That they had a pass breakup. It was a screen pass that Jalen Hurts threw, and the defender like recognizes it quick and just bats it down before they get there. That was sick.
I agree. They're one of my favorite defenses to watch because it's not so cookie cutter. It's I like aggressive, fast defense, and that's exactly what they are. And they're so fun, dude.
Yeah, no, their defense is really fun to watch. Like, it kind of reminds me of like the Bears in 2018. Like Vic Fangio was ultra aggressive. It like they dialed up like different pressures, did like different angles on their like pass rushes. Like everything that the Chiefs are doing right now is like amplified, like times 10 for me. Like that's the kind of defense I like watching. Like it's like you said, like when you watch like the Browns defense, they're really good. But they just have such a dominant pass rush. Like they don't have to do anything like exotic.
They can blitz 4 or 3 every single play and get home.
Yeah. But Chiefs are my favorite defense to watch right now. And Creed Humphrey is so good.
You see Jalen Carter almost try to get the spike ball.
I was going to bring that up. That was funny. And
Creed Humphrey is insane.
It was in his hands too when Mahomes.
Dude, I know. That would have been the greatest interception of all time.
Yeah.
That'd have been the greatest interception of all time.
No one tried that?
I have no idea. It seems so. I've thought about it so many times.
Yeah, I know. Like, just get under it. But yeah,
because it's not interference. You're not hitting the center if you're going underneath him and just catching the ball.
Yeah. That game, even though it was low scoring, I thought it was a fun game to watch.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I went back and watched like highlights and clips and stuff from it to kind of fill in the void. But
okay,
fun game.
I'm gonna go and talk about it. Mahomes has been blessed to have Andy Reid and like really good receivers. I kind of feel bad for him now.
Oh yeah,
because now like Matt Nagy's calling the plays, and I know the pain as a Bears fan, like ruin Trubisky.
Yeah.
And now Matt Nagy's calling the plays. Justin Watson dropping passes, MVS dropping passes, even Kelsey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelsey was dropping passes. Like,
now it was raining in the pregame.
I guess you could blame it on that.
No, I don't. They've been dropping passes all season.
Yeah, I know. I asked you that last week too. I was like, have they figured out with the receiving core? No.
Figured out they're bad.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad for Mahomes in a way. I don't know. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm not bandwagoning either, but like he's such a good quarterback. Like, I mean,
he can only do so much. He can't catch the ball too.
Yeah. I mean, you saw like Tom Brady, like with the receivers that he's had when he's won the Super Bowl, but Chris Hogan, Danny Amendola, Gronk,
Caught the ball.
Yeah. Julian Edelman, they all caught the ball. So, yeah, but that was a beautiful pass. He tried to, like, the what should have been a touchdown to MVS. He said that he overthrew it.
I'm about to say, that's one thing I love about Patrick Mahomes is he will take all the blame in the world.
But it's not even his play. If you're a receiver, you catch that ball.
It was a perfect ball.
It was between, like, who had the worst drop pass? Was it MVS or was it Quentin Johnson?
MVS. I think similar situations for both.
You can argue.
Both of them are likely a game-winning touchdown, but
you can argue either. Like the receiving core for the Chargers and for the Chiefs let down their star quarterback today.
Yep.
Like not Mahomes' fault, not Justin Herbert's fault. I watched those games.
Yeah.
So
tough one.
Yeah.
For both of them.
But
Sets up the Eagles really good though.
Yeah. So the Eagles, I mean, they still look good. Like their team, they rallied. I still have concerns about their defense though.
Yeah.
I still have concerns about their
defense.
Not
as good as last year.
They're getting beat still.
I feel like it's more so their secondary.
Which is crazy.
Feel as dominant as before.
I know, and they've got the same guys. Like, I know that they don't have C.J. Gardner-Johnson anymore, but they have.
Still Darius Slay.
Who did they pick up at safety? No, they picked up a big safety target.
Oh, Byard. Kevin Byard.
Yeah, Kevin Byard. Yeah, like he's good. He had an interception that game.
His interception was nice too in the end zone.
Yeah, Blankenship's still good.
James Slay.
Yeah, big play Slay. James Bradbury. Like they've
on paper,
their defense should still be the same.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Jonathan Gannon leaving, that has probably something to do with it. Their offense has been kind of stagnant. I mean, you did lose two really good coordinators.
And Jalen's been not his healthiest this year.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, they're still 9-1.
I do want to bring up an interesting thing of stats here, and we're gonna do a player A and player B scenario. Okay, I want you to guess who's who. All right. So player A, 2,497 passing yards on the season, 15 touchdowns to 9 interceptions.
Okay.
Player B, 2,331 passing yards on the season, 16 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Who do you think is who?
Say the second one again.
23-31 through the air, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love.
Yep. Jalen Hurts is A, Jordan Love is B.
Leave it to a Packers fan to always have to bring it back to, hey, my quarterback's the guy.
I'm not saying he's the guy, but he's getting a little bit more shit than he deserves. With the offensive line that's been different in every single game, consistently swapping guys at left tackle, okay?
No, I get it. I get exactly where you're coming from. It's just funny. I had a feeling you were going to bring this up. You fucking Packers.
I saw that floating around Twitter.
You're a diehard. I appreciate it though. You're a fan.
Yeah.
Like, you care about your team.
I saw it floating around Twitter today, and I didn't realize it was that close. I wouldn't have guessed that was Jordan Love. Looking at those stats blind, I definitely would not have guessed that's Jordan Love.
I heard the passing yards, and I saw something like a stat on ESPN for that, so I kind of knew it was coming.
Gotcha. But and
then when you said blind QB, it went right in my head. I was like, he's talking Jordan Love. This fucking guy.
But hey, Eagles are the number one team in the NFC. I think it's their conference to lose. Now their secondary does pose a lot of issues. Their defense hasn't been as consistent as before, but they find ways to win. Now they did lose that weird one to the Jets.
They could lose.
Find ways to win.
If history, if last season tells you anything, they won the first game against the Cowboys and they lost the second game. Yeah, Jalen Hurts was hurt, but I mean they haven't been like as dynamic as they usually are. Now DeAndre Swift is really good.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift, he is definitely much better than any running back they had last year.
So I can't believe they got him for a 4th-round pick.
I know. It's crazy. Also, when we were talking about Creed Humphrey, he might be the best center in the league. I know Jason Kelce exists, but
yeah. I would give it. This isn't even Oklahoma bias. I'd just give it to Creed because he's such a fucking stud, dude.
Dude, he is.
I think Creed is much better in pass protection than Kelce is.
Yeah, not as good in run, but they run different things. Like Kansas City has a wide open offense. Like they run so many different concepts.
Yeah, they run a lot of outside stuff where the Eagles run a lot of zone blocking schemes, which Jason Kelce is he's a lot better athlete than most people probably give him credit for.
Did you see that
up front and is running downfield, bro?
Yeah.
He moves.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like that video of him or that clip of him where he's just running upfield on that DeAndre Swift long carry. He looked fast.
Yeah.
He's an athlete.
Is he better athlete than Travis?
He plays a very important. They both play important positions. They're both very key components. Yeah, they're both key components in their offense.
Yeah.
Jason Kelce gets hurt. That's there's not a center. There's not another offensive lineman that can play that position as well as he does.
I completely agree.
Now, Creed got beat on a couple of blitzes, but I mean it's 4th quarter. He's probably fucking tired. He's had to block Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis.
Yeah,
big dudes. But he held his own. I mean, he was bullying Jalen Carter there for a little bit, and Jalen Carter's really good. So that can we just?
You know how angry I am with the fact that the Eagles somehow finessed Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. It's where the fact that when Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox are gone, they're still probably going to have the 2 of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy that Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox have been on that team for so long too. The Eagles are still good, and if you're a Cowboys fan, you're in hell seeing that they're 9-1 still. It's basically where they were last season.
Are the Cowboys 7-3?
Yeah. 7-3, 8-2, something like that. 7-3. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. Good game. Mahomes needs better receivers.
Yep.
Receivers are a problem. Eagles are good enough to win close games against good teams. Kind of want to see them beat the shit out of some bad teams, though.
Yeah. They're definitely. I feel like they let off the gas sometimes.
Yeah.
I'd love to see like a 70-20, like a Dolphins game.
Yeah.
Just not
well, they kind of beat the shit out of the Dolphins, though. 31-17.
They did beat the shit out of the Dolphins. Yeah. The score doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Michigan Penn State game from last year or last week. So, but anything else you want to touch on in the NFL games?
No, man. I think we're good. We got a preview coming up. When do you want to do that?
We might be able to just do it tonight.
Okay. Like a short one?
Make it a quick one. Yeah. Just talk about a couple games and then run through the NFL real quick.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to take a break? Or?
Probably just go grab a drink.
Yeah. Let's say we take a break and then we re-record.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. Well, I'll probably cut that little bit out and just sandwich it back together. So, thank you for watching. This has been episode 14 of the PigSkin podcast. Again, College Football Week 12, NFL Week 11 recap. Of course, my name is Dalton. This is Sebastian. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Come back for more. Probably get this out first thing Wednesday morning. and then we'll pump out another one to have ready to go. Probably Friday morning for kickoff of the OU game, just to have that weekend ready. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think, and have a wonderful week. Thank you for watching.